Hi, I'm Beck and welcome to a video where I talk about the Silverblood Promise. This is a spoiler-free video and I'm going to tell you why you should read this book and how I felt about it. Honestly, it was such a fun book that you should just go and pick it up now, but I'm going to tell you the reasons why you should go and pick it up. And I'll start with a synopsis. So we follow Lucan Gardova. He's in his mid-20s, but previously he was an academy dropout. He's a bit of a card sharp at the moment and a bluffer, and I really like that rogue character. So at the beginning of the story, he's in a bar, he gets followed home, and the person who follows him home is actually somebody from his past, and they've come back to tell him some bad news, and that is his father has been murdered. However, on his father's body, she found a note, and this note was written in his father's blood, and it had Lucan's name, it had the name of a city, and then the name of something that he has never heard of before. So from this inciting action, Lucan decides to go to the city of Safrona, where there are merchant princes and anything can be bought and sold if you have the coin to do so. And this was just such a great murder mystery conspiracy, but set in a fantasy world, because right from the beginning of the story, it's like everything was set up for you, so it was really easy to buy into it. And I mean that in the sense that the inciting action happened straight away. You already had your character framing for Lucan, so you kind of knew how he responded to people based on where he was in that bar, and then how he would fight himself out of situations when he was leaving the bar and he got attacked. And then after that, in a actual serious conversation, you got a sense of where his intelligence was as well. So already you've set up not only your character, but his intention, because he's going to this city to discover what has happened and who killed his father. So I love that that was so clear from the beginning. It made me easily go, I'm invested in this book. I want to know what happens. I also love too that Lucan is the kind of character that sometimes runs his mouth, even though he should be clever enough not to. So he's a little bit impulsive, and that was actually quite endearing because it showed a flaw, it showed his humanness, and it just showed at some points his desperation as well, because the further he gets into trying to solve his father's murder, he just keeps kicking over stones and discovering more of a conspiracy that is going on in this city. And he's like, why am I involved in this? His life is at risk. And he initially started for reason A, and now like reasons B, C, D, and E are taking over instead. And not to say that reason A, so the point of him going to the city, is taken over. That's not the case at all. He just has all of these concurrent things going on at the same time, and a lot of the time he has to fight for his life. So he does that with some allies, and one of the allies comes in more towards the halfway point of the story, so I won't talk about that person. But the first ally that he comes across, I really like that mentor dynamic. So he is accosted in the street by this thief named Flea, and she's like 11 years old, and she is very much more street smart than him because he's grown up in a very rich family and she's obviously grown up trying to survive. And so they form this alliance, and through the book you really see that bond strengthen to the point that they really worry over each other's well-being. And I just love that, not even slow burn, but you understand that it comes from a point of trust, and it's a trust from normal conversations and examples and being in traumatic situations together. So it's not just like they've trauma bonded and been forced together. They actually get along personality wise and in situations that they need to rely on each other. I don't think this is a book that has necessarily done anything super new in the fantasy space though. So you've got that rogue character, you've got a side character who is a thief, there is a conspiracy, there's a murder mystery, there's political intrigue, there are gods and magic as well. And I don't think, like I said, that is new in the fantasy space, but I just really like the mixing pot of how all of these devices were used in this particular book, and that's why it was so much fun. I never knew where it was going next. The pace was so snappy, but it didn't leave me behind. I wasn't confused. I understood people's intention, whether they were the lead character or not, and I just liked the politics, and I just liked how this was unfurling. And at some points I had to sit back and go, oh, that's who that character is linked to, and then light bulb moment would happen. In all honesty, it is so fast paced that it would make such a great film, because at no point was I ever bored in this book. I was constantly intrigued and wondering where Lucan would pivot to next. So like I said, Lucan really won me over as a character, even though he can be a bit of a drunk at some points and obviously impulsive as well. He's quite observant, and I like having an intelligent main character making decisions that then causes things to happen in the plot, rather than just being stuck in this this conspiracy and things happening around him that he is just thrown into, he does a lot of the decision making in order to make this plot progress, and he does mess up a lot as well. So I like seeing that he has successes and failures and how he responds to both, and how him and Flea really play off each other. I really like the world building in here too. It was a very slow burn kind of in the background, and it came to a head more so towards the end with certain points of significance. But I also really liked the interaction of our main characters with that magic, because it really helped inform my understanding as well, and it really cemented that foundation of the magic too. So I have no notes really. It was fast paced, the plot was great, the action was great, the characters were great. I would just say read this because it was so much fun. And like I said, I didn't guess anything. So I gave this a very high 4 stars. It was a lot of fun, like I said, and I cannot wait to read the sequel. Unfortunately, that doesn't come out until October this year, so I'm waiting a couple of months, but I can wait. It will be worth it. But that is all for this video. Let me know if you've gone and picked up this book, because I would endorse that decision. But thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you below in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.